another drawing tutorial. This time we're going to get a little fancy. So go ahead and grab a pencil and a piece of paper. First, we are going to draw our umbrella portion first. So go ahead and make a dot in the middle of your paper, and then you are going to make some curved lines and a straight line or two out from the dot, kind of like the startings of a spider web, but we curve the edges toward the bottom just a little, as you can see, and then we're going to connect those lines with other lines to make the shape of the umbrella around it. Now you can make your umbrella really big. You don't want to make it too small because we're going to make some very interesting designs in those pieces, so you can make it as big as I have it or even bigger. Next, we're going to add the body. So we're going to make two vertical lines going down and then a horizontal line across to make kind of a box for the coat. And then we're going to make two other boxes for kind of the pants or shorts. And then from there, make two more boxes for the legs. And then we're going to make the rain boots around it. Then we're going to add a nice puddle around there. I'm not really going to go into detail on talking about the designs I made in each piece. I want you to come up with your own patterns and designs, but to kind of give some explanation and background to what we're doing. So the doodling process is called Zentangle method. It is an easy to learn, relaxing, and fun way to create beautiful images by drawing structured patterns. We call these patterns tangles. You create tangles with combinations of dots, lines, simple curves, S-curves, and orbs. These simple shapes are the elemental strokes, in quotes, in all Zentangle art. These patterns are drawn on small pieces of paper called tiles. We call them tiles because you can assemble them into mosaics. Zentangle art is non-representational and unplanned, so you can focus on each stroke and not worry about the result. There is no up or down to Zentangle art. In fact, you can most easily create Zentangle art by rotating your tile as you tangle, always keeping your hand in a relaxed position. You don't need to know what a tangle is going to look like to draw it. You just need to know the steps. The result is a delightful surprise. As you use the Zentangle method to create beautiful images, you likely will enjoy increased focus, creativity, self-confidence, and an increased sense of well-being. We believe that life is an art form and that each person is an artist. The Zentangle method is an elegant metaphor and model for inspiring a deliberate artistry in life. So it seems Zentangle is a nice, relaxing option to doodling. So you can do this anytime you want. You don't need to create kind of the umbrella pattern and stuff like that that we've made. You can just take a simple blank piece of paper and just begin to doodle. Let your hand be the guide as you make your quote-unquote tangles in the piece. You can follow along with the certain tangles that I'm doing to my piece. I've just done the simple basic elements of design that we have talked about in art class. Circles, squares, triangles, rectangles, lines, making those lines into other things like flowers and dots. Remember, my kindergartners, a dot is a line. So just making different shapes, but making sure that they are patterns. And if you remember, patterns are repeated shapes or colors in that way. So when you're making your Zentangle piece, remember to just kind of let it flow. Do what you want with the piece, but also maybe keep in mind of the pattern that you want to create. So I put a different pattern in each section of my piece, and maybe you don't want to do that, and that's okay. So for the puddle, I did circles because it made me think of the puddle in that kind of curvy way, so I wanted to do something with that. For the rain boots, I did lines to kind of maybe show a woven texture, and then I did triangles for the shorts and give it kind of that normal short pattern that we might see. And then the raincoat, I did kind of rainbow kind of look, you know, because raincoat, rainbow. And then for the umbrella itself, I kind of just did a variation of different patterns. I did stars and I patterned them out in different areas. I did kind of this nice, very soft flower pattern that you might see as in tiles. I did kind of a wood grain pattern, and that's just kind of those organic shapes that we talked about, so things found in nature. I did another kind of op art, fourth graders. Remember during one of the substitute teachers being there, you learned about op art, and so creating that in that way as well. And then just kind of doing what I want with each little piece, maybe taking inspiration from another doodle that I did to create a different Zentangle. And so today, for the coloring that I chose, I decided to go with colored pencil, just because then that way I could go in with a little more detail on the piece, since they are kind of tiny and small. And you know how I've always said that you can always make something rainbow, so I decided to go with rainbow for my umbrella, and you'll be able to see that in just a little bit. So if we remember our colors for the rainbow, so we have red, yellow, and blue. What are those colors? If you said primary colors, you are correct, which means we have our secondary colors, which are what? If you said orange, green, and purple, you are correct. Remember, red and blue make purple, blue and yellow make green, and red and yellow make orange. Now, I have more than just those colors in this as well. We have what are called the tertiary colors, and those are where you take a primary plus a secondary to get that tertiary color. So I have blue, green, so I have blue plus green to make my turquoise blue-green, and then I have red, purple, or kind of a magenta for that one as well. So maybe you can kind of guess later on what I have for those pieces. Now again, you can always outline your piece in a pen or marker first before you color it in, or you can color it in and then outline it after to kind of give it that nice little pop. Since we're dealing with rain and umbrellas, I thought I would do some interesting weather facts for this piece, just to give us our little science in there as well as our art. So here are some freaky weather facts. You can tell the temperature by counting a cricket's chirps. Sandstorms can swallow up entire cities. Dirt mixed with wind can make dust storms called black blizzards. A mudslide can carry rocks, trees, vehicles, and entire buildings. The coldest temperature ever officially recorded was negative 89.2 degrees Celsius. That's negative 128.56 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really cold. Where do you think that would have been? I think it probably would have been from Antarctica. It's probably the coldest place in the whole world. Mild autumn weather often means bigger spiders in our homes. Oh, that's something to consider. If we have mild autumn weather, it means there are bigger spiders in our homes. And spiders are okay to have in your house. They help take care of kind of the tinier pests like the gnats or the flies or the mosquitoes or any other kind of annoying bug that gets in. So I usually try to leave the spiders alone, especially if they're in the corners of my room, as long as they're not, in the shower or on the bed or something like that. They're allowed to live there. But if they do get a little too close, I like to catch them and set them back outside. They'll probably come back in, but that's okay as long as they're getting rid of those other bugs. A heat wave can make train tracks bend. About 2,000 thunderstorms rain down on Earth every minute. A 2003 heat wave turned grapes to raisins before they were picked from the vine. Lightning often follows a volcanic eruption. Raindrops can be the size of a housefly and fall at more than 30 kilometers per hour. If you want, go ahead and figure out what that would be for miles per hour. Cape Farewell in Greenland is the windiest place on the planet. Hurricanes can push more than 6 meters of water ashore. In July 2001, the rainfall in Kerala, India was blood red. Ooh. Blizzards can make snowflakes feel like petals hitting your face. A hurricane in Florida, USA, caused 900 captive pythons to escape. Ooh, I don't think I want to be in Florida when that happened. Worms wriggle up from underground when a flood is coming. A thunderstorm can produce 160 kilometers per hour winds. In Antarctica, snow can fall so hard you can't see your hand in front of your face. A whiteout or heavy snowfall that makes it difficult to see can make you feel sick. Wildfires sometimes create tornadoes made of fire called fire whirls. In 1972, a blizzard dumped 8 meters of snowfall on Iran, burying 200 villages. Ooh, goodness. Some tornadoes can be faster than Formula One racing cars. Black ice, a transparent coating of ice on a surface, can make pavements super slippery. Some frogs get noisier just before it rains. In 525 BC, a sandstorm buried hundreds of soldiers in an Egyptian desert. Waterspouts, or rotating columns of air over water, can make sea creatures rain down from the sky. Sharknado, anyone? Gosh, I hope not. Oh dear, that would be terrifying. The most damage ever caused by a thunderstorm was in 1995, when hailstones bigger than cricket balls fell in Texas, USA. In 1684, it was so cold that the River Thames froze solid for 2 months. That's in London, England. Cats and dogs have been known to sense when a tornado is approaching. Did you enjoy those facts? Some of those I didn't even know about. I found those very fascinating. I hope you are able to maybe search up some new and interesting facts, or maybe look into some of the facts that I talked about. As you can see, I'm still working away, trying to get all of those pieces together. I will say this piece is going to take a lot longer than our other pieces that we have done in the past. So it might take you a few hours, or it might take you a few days to get this done. And that's okay. If you need to come back to my video, pause it, work on your piece, and then come back, that is totally fine. That makes sense. This took me quite some time, and I have sped up the video a little bit to what it is now. So understand that this piece might be a little bit longer than what we're used to. With the time that we have left, I think I'm just going to let you enjoy some of this relaxing music as you color in your piece along with me. I would love to see your piece posted on Facebook or emailed to me with your parent or guardian's permission, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye!